Hi, friends, and welcome to the Apple Orchard house. We are in my kitchen, and I am so excited to show you guys everything. But first, I want to say a big thank you to Joni Clothing for sending me this groovy jumpsuit. Isn't it fabulous? It is totally up my alley, and I've always dreamed of having a flower power jumpsuit. And this house needs a lot of imagination, and I also want to bring in a lot of 70s flower power. And so I thought wearing this jumpsuit would be very appropriate while we go through here. Okay, now that you saw my cute outfit, I had to put a coat and a hoodie on because it is freezing in here. There is no heat. I don't know what's going on, but it's very cold. And so the person I'm renting from is coming at 5 o'clock today to figure out why the heat isn't running. This house is a fixer-upper. I have a long story to tell you about the house and about who I'm renting from. Um, but I'm really excited to be here, and I'm not moving in today. I'm moving in 2 days from now. So I'm here to give an empty house tour and then to also clean before I arrive. But let me show you the front yard, what my house looks like from the outside, and what it looks like walking in, and then we will do the kitchen. At the end of this video, I am going to do an unboxing of all the items that you purchased for me on my housewarming gift Amazon wish list. And so if you want to see what I received as housewarming gifts, or if you purchased anything, then definitely stay to the end because I'm going to unbox everything. All right, here is the outdoors. There's my sunroom. That is the window to my dining room. And this is my outdoor space that I get. It's so beautiful. The garden here is ginormous. And if you look closely, there is a lake over there. Isn't that so pretty? I can see it from here. But yeah, this place needs a lot of help. Look at that beautiful tree. But way back there behind that bush is a clothesline for me. So I am very excited to get access to that and to clear the brush so that I can use it. And if you see here in the backyard, those are the apple trees. So I would show you more, but it is raining and it's really cold, but I will show you more on a nicer day. Okay, so let's head into the sunroom or porch area, whatever you want to call it. So it is really, really messy in here. Here's a nice snow blower. But yeah, this thing needs help because there's a bunch of plastic wrap on here. And then there's also this big piece of wood that I want to leave. But it looks like the screens are in pretty good shape. I'm really excited to put my flower power glider right here. And then I'm going to string my vintage lights here, which will be beautiful. So I'm excited to make this space over and look really cute. So this is a little weird, but this is how I get into my house, is through this porch area. It goes into this little section here, and I will show you through the slider. Okay, so I have this really weird area right here, and there's a big skylight, which I've never had a skylight before in my house. But here, let me back up. So this is the very odd area. I think I'm gonna have to use it as like a little mudroom space because this porch, because there's screens, it can totally get water in there, it can get snow in there, and so I'm not gonna be able to like put my shoes out there and stuff. So I think what this area will have to be. I'm gonna have to have a coat rack and a place to put all my shoes. Now, this is a really cute little laundry room that right now is just for me, but eventually I will be sharing with another tenant probably whenever that happens. But look at the really cute wallpaper in here. And this wallpaper is in my kitchen as well. But I love all these cabinets in here. And I especially love this area. It's kind of hard to see how cute it is with all this stuff, but trust me, it is so cute. Do you love this chair? I certainly do. It is my new favorite thing. I got it for $12 at a thrift store. It's a vintage steel case one. It certainly looks very 70s, and I think it's going to be my new work from home chair. and I'm gonna set up a little office in here. So that'll be really cool, but I'm pumped. And I think it is so cute that I might have my office in my living room. And so it's so cute that I can have it on display, which is exciting. All right, so if you watched my last part one, part two, and part three, you totally understand what I'm going through. So I went through a divorce. I originally owned a home, and now I am renting this space. And when we decided that we were separating, I basically had a year of feeling really stressed and scared that I wouldn't know where one of us was going to move to, if we'd have to sell the house. There's a lot of factors that go into where I can move to. Of course, finances is one of those factors. Another big factor is that I really did not want to live in a typical apartment that is in my area, which I won't be able to fix up at all and isn't very cute. And that is important because I do this as a part of my living, having a YouTube channel based on vintage interior decorating and an Instagram and a blog. And so I didn't want to live in an apartment that I couldn't change anything. That would be really difficult for making content, but it also I would really not like it. I've lived in apartments before and I hated that I couldn't change anything. And this place, I have the freedom to change at least some things for the better. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, so I want to put you in this mindset, the mindset that I had when I was trying to figure out where to move to. And the reason I'm sharing this story is because I know there are a lot of people struggling with finding affordable housing, and that was something that was a huge issue for me. And I am so grateful I came up with this solution. And so I want to share what happened in case it helps even like one other person find a good place to live. My mindset was last November, I was getting to the point where I'm like, what in the where am I going to go? Like I was so worried about what there was no solution. I couldn't figure anything out. Even if I did want to live in a apartment that I couldn't change anything about, it would be basically the cost of my mortgage alone, like just to live there. It was so expensive and I would not like to live there anyway. Thankfully, I had time to figure out where I wanted to go. And so what I started doing was going on YouTube and searching for like tiny houses, all kinds of things to figure out different ideas for housing. I mean, I watched videos about like houseboats and people that live in teeny tiny cabins and people that live in garden sheds and in buses. And a lot of those things wouldn't have worked out for me. We don't have houseboats in my area. I came across a YouTube channel that I love. So if you want a new YouTube channel to try out, it is called Little Boho Cottage. And I started watching it exclusively because it was a woman about my age and she's single and she lives alone and she lives in a cottage in the woods that she rents. I mean, for one, I loved it because she decorates with lots of thrifted furniture and she loves color. And so I love her account anyway. But it got me thinking maybe I can rent from somebody, not like rent from an apartment complex, but maybe I can find a person that has a space to rent. And so I decided to start searching like affordable housing. And I saw that there were housing groups on Facebook. And so I started joining all those housing groups. Like there would be like Holland Housing. And then people would like post if there's rooms for rent. And I looked in Kalamazoo, I looked in quite a few places, and a lot of it is renting a single room in a house. And I did look into that. I could like have rented a room with like five other girls, but I really didn't want to do that because most of them are in college and I would be like 10 years older than them. So that didn't sound like a lot of fun. Plus, I didn't really want to live in just a single room. I have done that before. I previously rented a room in someone's house and it is very cheap. It's a great way to find housing if you really need it. I was grateful for that opportunity at the time. But at this point, I really wanted to have my own space. So then I started thinking, okay, well, on Little Boho Cottage, she found a person to rent this cottage to her. And I'm like, how can I get something like that affordably? Maybe what I'll do is on Instagram, I will like announce in my stories that like I have a friend who needs a place to live. I didn't really want to put I needed a place to live in case some creepy people would respond. But I thought like maybe I'd put on my Instagram that if anybody has a place to live in the West Michigan area, like a place like a garage apartment, that type of thing that they have an extra space for, to let me know. So my plan was to subtly say something on Instagram and see if anybody would have a place for me to go. But before I did that, it occurred to me that I have a friend that just bought a big farmhouse. If you watched my How to Make Friends video, I actually talk about him and I say that he's busy fixing up his farmhouse with his girlfriend, and so I'm not seeing him a lot right now. I thought, actually, I think he told me because my friend has been a landlord before. I thought maybe he would want to rent to me because I knew at this farmhouse there was a rental unit. And turns out there were two rental units. But anyway, I thought I'm gonna call him and just let him know my situation and see if something comes up because I didn't want to outright be like, hey, will you rent to me? Because he's my friend. And so I didn't really want to put him like in an awkward position if he didn't want to rent to me, which is totally fine if he didn't want to. So I called him and, we talked about how we were doing. And I told him, I'm kind of struggling trying to figure out a place that I can rent that is affordable. And then he said, oh, well, I really need a tenant. That was awesome. And he discussed it with his girlfriend and they decided to let me rent here. And so he bought this house with him and his girlfriend last year, and they've been fixing it up since then. It needs a lot of work, which is why, like, yes, I have a landlord, but he's also someone that I know personally. We've been friends for a few years, and him, his girlfriend, and his family live here. I was able to get this place affordably. And a big factor for why it was affordable was because when we were on the phone together and we were talking about what if I lived here, I said, if it sweetens the deal for you, I am willing to babysit your kids. So he has two kids that I know and I love them. I think they're wonderful. And I said, like, I'll watch them on the weekends, if you need like someone to watch them for a little bit. And he's like, that sounds awesome. And so that made a huge difference. Another thing that I did was I told him I would fix this place up to look cuter for future tenants, which is another benefit that I was able to offer. And I think that had a factor in him giving me affordable rent prices. I'm so grateful he did that. And I'm so grateful that I figured out that solution because of just a YouTube channel that I watched. And so, something that I want to say to you is if you are struggling with finding a place to live, think about think out of the box. Think, is there anyone I know at my church, in my friend group, in my neighborhood that might have an extra cottage or a room above a garage or an empty basement or some place that they would rent to me? Do you know any empty nesters that are looking for a little bit of company? And what things do you have to offer to help lower any rent costs or to even incentivize someone to rent to you? So, for instance, if you know someone like an older couple that needs company, or maybe they need someone that will shovel their driveway, those types of things might help sweeten the deal and get them to be interested in renting to you. So I just wanted to put that out there that it worked for me. I'm not like, I mean, I used to babysit when I was a teenager, but I just know these kids personally and I think that they're really cool. And so I'm happy to babysit them. And, we can watch Disney movies on Friday nights. I'm cool with that. I like Disney movies. The other thing that I think made a difference is they have both been through divorce. They understand what it's like. The housing struggle after divorce is the worst. And so they were both very kind and empathetic and understanding of my situation. And my friend specifically said that a reason why he became a landlord is to help people. So it was really wonderful that they made space for me to be here. And the other thing I want to say is if you are a person that has a place that has space to rent to someone, I would really encourage you to think about it. If you're an empty nester or if you have like an additional space in your house, it's a great way to make side income, but to also help someone that might need a place to go. But maybe you have a really beautiful house and it would be a wonderful thing to share that with someone else. So I just wanted to say that if you happen to have the space, maybe consider renting to somebody. Now, a little bit of history about the house that I didn't even know until very recently. In my Q&A, somebody asked me, when was the place built that you're moving to? And I thought that's a really good question because I don't even know when it was built. So I assumed I live in a rental unit that is attached to the house. It's all one giant farmhouse, and the rental units are attached to it. One rental is on a second story. My rental unit is on, it's all one floor. And then there's a main part of the house that my friend and his girlfriend and his kids live in. And I wasn't sure like when the main farmhouse was built, but I figured my unit was probably made in like the 60s or 70s, and I was wrong. So I asked my friend, I said, when was this place built where I'm living in? When was the rental unit made? And he said, oh no, you live in the original house. So everything else that is a part of the house, what I thought was the main house, was actually the expansion. And I live in the original house, which was built in the 1850s, which is old. I mean, that is before the Civil War old, which is so cool. So I thought that was interesting. I've never lived in a place this old, but it's also very confusing. And when we're on the tour, I'll show you the house because there is like nothing in here that indicates to me that this house is from the 1800s. I mean, the windows don't even look that old. Normally houses from the 1800s have like all these like intricate beautiful details, all these tiny little things that show that it's old fashioned. I definitely think it was renovated because there's like a skylight in here, and I don't think people were doing skylights in the 1800s. So I'm not sure what was added onto this house, but either way, it feels very 60s and 70s to me. All right, so here is the kitchen space, and I love it and also hate it. So, what I love about it is the wallpaper. It is original. I have no idea what year it's from. I would guess maybe the 60s or 70s. If you have a guess, I would love to hear it. Here's a close up of what the wallpaper looks like, and in some places it's peeling, which stinks because I really want to preserve it. So, if I've never really dealt with real wallpaper, this is the first house that I've been in that has actual real wallpaper. So if you have any suggestions on how I can like put this back in place, I mean, I of course I can just like do double-sided tape or something, but I didn't know if there's a way to like get this reactivated and get it back down, or if I can just use like wallpaper adhesive. I have no idea. So if you guys have any tips, let me know. And it does have a lot of potential in here. I love that there is a bunch of space here. There's enough space for a kitchen island. And Callie actually found a kitchen island for me for $7. She found it at the thrift store. And so it's going to be perfect in here. And my plan is to paint the kitchen island. And then I'm also going to paint this backsplash. I did get permission to do that, which is awesome. And I'm going to paint them the same color. And I'm thinking I'm going to pull in colors from the wallpaper. So maybe, I don't think I can do a yellow because of this like cream color. So I'm thinking I might do either green or orange. But the orange might be a little weird with the wood, so it's probably just going to end up being green. But I would love any of your suggestions or ideas. I would love to hear them. So if you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments for me. I'm open to everything. It also would be a lot of fun to get your input, and then if I can do any of those suggestions, then you'll be able to see it happen in real time, which would be a lot of fun. What I don't love about this space is there is no natural light in here. So there's that skylight, but it doesn't really reach in this kitchen. Something that I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these cupboard doors off, these ones. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do those cupboard doors, these cupboard doors, and that one on the end. I'm not entirely sure, but I think opening up these cupboards will make it look a lot cuter. Okay, here is the kitchen. It is one big wall. I have a dishwasher, awesome. This microwave doesn't work, so I have to get my own. I love these fans up here. I had one of those in my very first house, so I'm excited that I have another one and it does work. There's thankfully a lot of cupboard space. There isn't a lot of counter space, so I definitely think the island will help. And I love these lights, but they don't have bulbs in them right now, or they're burnt out, so I have to replace them. But somebody already has nails in here, which is cool. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll hang some pot holders on the backsplash like right away to make it look cute. But yeah, I'm thinking of taking these doors off for sure, but I'm wondering if I should take that door off, these two, and these two. But I don't really think I should do those top ones because then I'm just gonna have way too much open storage and not enough closed storage. Or maybe I only do these two. So I would love whatever advice or input you have, what you think would look best. If you look in this cupboard, I think at one point they used this as like an ice box. Isn't that neat? I think that's so interesting. Okay, now this area needs the most help ever. I'm kind of looking forward to figuring out a solution. I mean, it sucks that it doesn't look very cute, but what I'm looking forward to is there's this big space here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it is recessed. So it's probably, I would say, almost a foot in here. My dad is coming in this sometime this week, and I'm going to talk to him about maybe putting in like a shelf and then it can hold spices, something like that. I think that would be really cool. I also think up here I could add a shelf right here, and then maybe I could paint everything that same green color and make it look a little bit cuter. But then having those shelves there, I could put decorations up there, or it could still be like more storage for like sugar and flour and stuff. I don't know about this little sliver, what I would do here. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to get my dad's input. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, I would love to hear it. Now, this wood paneling right behind me, we're going to have to talk about, and I will show it to you more in the living room. But this is real wood paneling. This isn't fake. And it has a very interesting story. I'm in the dining room right now. I think the wood paneling in here is different than the living room, but the paneling in the living room for sure, it came from they bulldozed forests down to put in a highway back in the day, like a long time ago. And they took the wood from those trees and made them into that wood paneling. Isn't that cool? I just think that's so interesting. And so any idea that I had of painting the paneling is out the window because it's real wood paneling for one, but for two, it has like a really interesting history. And so I think that it should be preserved and honored, but it does mean that it is a very dark room. This is my dining room, and I just bought this at a yard sale this past Saturday. It's a room divider. I think that it's so cute. I think I need a lot of like fabric related items that don't go on the wall that will help distract from all this wood paneling. I'm ready to embrace the wood paneling, but also anything I can do to lighten up the space is going to be a good thing. So I think this is going to be great. I'm also thinking about maybe switching these out to vintage sheets. I think that would be very cute. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the ginormous vintage map wall thing. It's really neat. It's very cool. I just looked at it. I packed myself a sack lunch, and while I was eating my sandwich, I was paying attention to the map to see if I could figure out what year it's from. And it does say here December 1951. And then it does say here, like, the United Nations was inaugurated in 1945. And so I think that that would make sense that it would be from the 50s. But for sure, it's not like original to the house, like 1800s old. Now, it is very cool and I can really appreciate it, but also it is not my style. Having a world map that isn't colorful isn't really my vibe. And so I'm thinking that I'm going to put up a wall of vintage sheet curtains. Now, I'm not in any way going to alter the map. I think it's really cool. I'm happy to show people when they come to my house. But I hope that you understand what I mean, that it's just not my style. But I don't want to ruin it, so I think putting curtains on the wall, maybe like if I can like put like Velcro or something to have like a cute curtain wall, maybe I can do it. I don't know if I just do it on this side or on this side as well, or maybe I could put a bookcase in front of it. I'm not sure. But it is really neat, but not my thing. Now, this dining room is where my adorable yellow Formica table is going to go with my green floral chairs. I think that'll be perfect in this space. It actually feels kind of big, so I'm not sure if I'm going to put my office space in the dining room or in the living room. This is really nice. It is south facing, and so it has an amazing view. I can see the lake from outside of this window. It has awesome natural light, and so I'm not sure if I just want to utilize this as a dining room because I don't sit in my dining room all that often. So I might also put my desk in here, and then I could face my desk out the window and look out the window at the garden and the apple orchard and the lake all at the same time. These floors appear to be quite old. They are old wood floors. They remind me a lot of my wood floors that were in the 60s house. And so I think these are original. And it's in this room. It's probably underneath the living room carpet, but it's not in the kitchen. So this place is kind of just a weird hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff. This house is so strange. So there's this very odd little area that is like it's just like a little hallway that makes it a big circle, because here's my dining room, so it makes this whole area a little circle, and then that door is my friend's side of the house, so I won't go through that door. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put curtains up here, like with suspension rods on this wall in this doorway, and then maybe this is just going to be like a little extra storage space for me, because I am going to have a problem with closet space. It is a pretty large footprint of a house. There's quite a few rooms. There's a living room, dining room, two bedrooms. One bedroom is very small. You'll see it soon. A bathroom, kitchen, sunroom. And then I will have a single garage space, but I don't think I'm going to put anything important out there because I'm in the country, and so there's definitely a lot of mice. So I don't want to put anything really important in the garage. But I won't have a basement, which is a big adjustment. I had a huge basement before with storage, but then also there are two closets. There's one in my main bedroom, and there's one in the very small second bedroom. And then there is like a cupboard thing in my bathroom. And that's it. So there isn't like a coat cupboard, there isn't a pantry. Where am I going to put my vacuum? Where am I going to put my mop? That kind of stuff I'm going to have to figure out. There is that like shared laundry room space, and so there is room for another tenant, the upstairs area, but it is in a shambles. Like there's no flooring, everything is ripped down to studs. Like it needs a lot of work. So I am not sure when another tenant will move in. So maybe I can put all my vacuum and all that kind of stuff in that space. That would be cool. There's a lot of junk in here, and my friend is going to clear everything out. Well, okay, this junk is mine. This is a pile. I filled my car up, and so this is all mine. But besides that, all these construction piles, my friend is going to clean up tomorrow or tonight when he gets off of work, and then I'm going to be moving in the next day. All right, this is my living room, and here's the really cool wood paneling that they took from the highway being built. It's very dark in here. It needs a lot of imagination. I don't really know what I'm going to do in this space. I think natural light is a problem. So this living room is north facing, so it doesn't get a lot of natural light. However, there's a really cool slider in here, and I love sliders. And it has a screen. And if you watched my 1960s house tour, I talked about how much I loved having my slider with the screen. So I'm really excited that I get one of those again. But brightening up this space is going to be a priority for me. So maybe hanging vintage chic curtain walls will be nice. I'm thinking about getting swag lights. So vintage swag lights would be really neat in here. Just having lots and lots of light, lots and lots of colorful prints and coziness in here. Now, if you have followed me or seen my living room tour before, I have a white electric fireplace that's totally movable. I bought it on Amazon, and that is not coming to this house because this fireplace is here and it is gas, so it is connected to a gas line. So this fireplace cannot move. This is my new fireplace, which is cool because I like having a fireplace, but the layout of this room is going to be a little bit challenging. Oh, by the way, yes, that is an organ in my living room. I don't know how to work an organ. That needs to go. So whoever was in here before, oh, that reminds me, I think it was an elderly woman that lived here before. My friend told me the other day there was a note left by someone, and it was an older woman who said that she previously lived here. And so I'm not sure, that might have been her, but I mean, like, that organ kind of gives me the vibe that maybe it was an older woman that used to live here. But it's been vacant for 2 years, this space. So it needs a lot of cleaning, it needs a lot of help. But when that lady came to leave a note, that kind of freaked out my friend, and he installed a bunch of extra security in this house, which I am very excited about the extra security. I am going to be living in this space alone, so I'm not living with anybody else. It's just me. And I haven't really lived by myself. I don't think really ever, except when I rented a single room in someone's house, but I was living with three other girls. So it didn't really feel like I was alone. But this is like, I basically have a whole house to myself. And it's going to be an adjustment for sure. And I also won't have any pets, which I've never really been without any pets before. But apparently, there are some feral farm cats. So I'm going to try to befriend one and maybe like lure it inside with some tuna and see if we can be best friends, and maybe it'll want to like hang out with me. So wish me luck on that. But even though I am living alone in this space, my friend and his girlfriend and his kids, his whole family is over on the other side of a wall. And that gives me a lot of comfort. So I'm not completely alone and feeling like isolated. But anyway, the layout in this room is going to be interesting because there's this doorway here, and then the dining room is right there, and then there's where you're standing on this tripod where my camera is a doorway to that weird little hallway that connects to the kitchen. And I would like my furniture to face this fireplace, and I'm thinking this is where I'll put my TV. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to bring all my furniture in 2 days and rearrange everything and see how it looks. Now I can change a few things, but my friend did say he wants me to put as few holes in this as possible, which is why I am collecting a bunch of command hooks, command strips, so that I can put a lot of things up in here because it needs help. But if you have any suggestions on what you would do in this space, I would love to hear it. Okay, here's a walkthrough of my living room. So this goes into the second bedroom. Here's the slider, and the garden out here, this is the front garden, is also beautiful. I'm very excited to see that in full bloom in the summer. There's also so much wildlife outside. I mean, it is so quiet in here, and there's like the only thing I hear is birds chirping, which is so nice. There's another window here, which is nice. And then here's that weird space that leads to the kitchen. And then there's this awkward shaped corner thing here. So I don't know what to do about this space. So here's the fireplace. Maybe I put a curtain up against this and I put my couch along it. And then I put a chair there in front of that awkward area. And then I could maybe put my desk here somewhere. And then I could look out the slider. I'm not sure. It's going to be very helpful having my furniture in here because this living room will be very interesting to find a layout. This bathroom is so bizarre. All right. So we have this maze here. They just put this flooring in. It's linoleum. I think it looks really nice. And it's blue, so it goes really well with the wallpaper that's already in here. But yeah, this is a very strange maze. And you see here, there's not a lot of walking space. It's very odd. They just put in a new shower for me, which is awesome. It was in really bad shape. So, and they also just put in a new toilet, which I'm cool with that. That's great. The weirdest thing about this bathroom is the amount of mirrors in here. So there's like one, two, three, four right by the toilet. Who wants that? And then there's a fifth one that I waved to you at. So this bathroom is very odd, but I'm really excited for the challenge of making this look cute. I do really love this vanity though. I think it looks very adorable, but it definitely needs a good cleaning. It is quite dirty. I'm hoping that I can take this honking medicine cabinet down. That would be really nice. And then maybe I could like put a bookshelf and stand it up on the vanity and then store stuff on it because I definitely don't need this many mirrors in here and I just am not a huge fan of this medicine cabinet. But anyway, as weird as this maze is, I am grateful for it because this is basically where I'm going to have to store a bunch of stuff because I'm very limited on closet space. So here we go. I'm gonna have to, I don't know what, put a bunch of shelves in here or something because there's not a lot of space for me to put stuff in here. Oh, this one has a bunch of shelves. That's awesome. So that's gonna be helpful for me. Okay, this is gonna be like my bathroom storage, linen cupboard, all kinds of stuff. All right, so we're just gonna film this bedroom this way because it is quite small. All right, so my friend has this ginormous desk unit, and so I asked him, "Can you please take this away?" And he said he would. So my fingers are crossed that this will get out of here because it is just way too big for this space. The thing that makes me think that this is an 1800s house is because I think they added this closet. Like, I don't think it was original and they just put it in here, and there originally was never even a closet in the first place. But there is a really cool safe in here. So that's interesting. Pretty cool. But yeah, so at least there's some closet space in here, which is great. Oh my gosh, I would love to know from you guys, what do you think of these? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Do you think they're cute? Do you think they're tacky? They really were not my vibe before. I don't even know if they're my vibe now, but it's kind of my reality. It's on like all the windows in here, and I could take them all down and probably just save them, and whenever I leave here, just put them back up. But I can't decide if I think they're cute or not. I would love to know your opinion. But anyway, he's also going to take these giant armoires out of here, so there will be more space, and I think this is going to become my sewing room. And this is my bedroom, the largest bedroom out of the two. It's relatively small, but I'm very happy with it. It's wood paneling in here again, so that will be an adjustment. I'm thinking maybe I could do a curtain wall behind the bed. That would be really cool. A very annoying thing that I'm not excited about is just like in my 60s house when I did the bedroom tour for the 60s house, I talked about the fact that there was a vent in the most opportune place to put the bed, and that's exactly what this is. So this is my friend's bed, it's not mine. And I was like, where's the vent in this room? And of course, it is right down there underneath the bed. Why did they put it there? I don't know if I'm going to put my bed in the same spot. Maybe I can put it here. I'll do a walkthrough of the bedroom so you'll be able to see it. But maybe I put the bed here instead. Or maybe I put it when you first walk in. I'm not sure where I'm going to put my dresser. So this room will also need a good layout, and I'll have to rearrange my furniture a few times. But there are 3 windows in here, which is delightful. It thankfully has a lot of natural light to counteract the dark wood paneling. This is my other closet. It needs a little bit of help, I think. Yeah, it's pretty pathetic, pretty sad. There's a bunch of exposed nails down there. That's cool. If you watched my moving announcement when I was sorting through my vintage sheets, I said, ooh, I should save this king size vintage sheet because there's a spot in my new place that I need to put a ginormous curtain, and that's here. I think I'm gonna put a really big curtain rod, and I think I'm gonna use metal piping, and I'm gonna have it cut like at Home Depot. Apparently, I read this on a blog that you can buy metal piping and they will cut it for you at Home Depot, and then you can use that as a curtain rod, and it's very sturdy. So I think I'm gonna put that the whole way along and have a huge curtain, or maybe 2 curtains. I'm not sure how far it'll be able to stretch, but 2 curtains would be nice because then I could open it to look at my closet. This is my friend's girlfriend. This is her dresser, so this is gonna leave. And I might put my dresser in here too. I think it's a good idea. The only thing is there isn't a coat rod or a clothing rod in here at all. So I have all my clothing hanging and I have no place to put it right now because none of the 2 closets in here, neither of them have a clothing rod. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when I first move in here. Yeah, this thing needs help. This room needs help, but overall, pretty soon this place will be livable. I mean, there's a working toilet, there's a working shower, the dishwasher works, I have a sink. I think I can live here and I'll be able to fix it up along the way. I'm gonna spend the rest of the day here cleaning. I was hoping I could like mop and vacuum, but it doesn't look like I can do that right now because there's still a lot of construction material. I guess my friend was up till like 1 a.m. fixing up the bathroom for me, which is so nice of him. So he is going to come back from work and look at the furnace to see and make sure that we can get the heat running in here. But I plan on doing a cleaning video where I show how dirty this place is and cleaning it up. And then there's some things that I want to fix up in here too right away. So I think I'll put some of those little things in the video as well. You'll get to see the whole process of me moving in here and fixing this place up. So please let me know, what do you guys think of this place? I'd love to hear about it. So now it's time for me to unbox all the housewarming gifts that I received. Okay, and I already opened these, like slashed them open because I wasn't confident that I would be able to keep track of a scissors during my move, and I was afraid that I would end up with a bunch of boxes here and no way to open them, so I just opened them ahead of time, but I didn't like unbox them or anything. This one is a big pot, and I don't know if I really want to unbox it. I'll show a picture of it. But it's a really big skillet. It has a high wall, and I have a lot of these items I actually already own. But because I'm getting a divorce, we have to split the items. And so I just need some of the items that I'm not going to be able to take with me. And so I already have this skillet, and it is the best. I use it for one pot meals all the time. And I'm going to be cooking from home a lot. I already cook from home a lot, but I plan on doing it even more to save a lot of money. So thank you so much. The person that bought this specifically asked to remain anonymous. So thank you very much for this pan. I will think of you every time I use it. Next is this Dirt Devil vacuum cleaner, and this is another item that I already own. And if you need a lightweight vacuum that is awesome, you should get this one. Lisa purchased this for me. Thank you so much, Lisa. I am going to unbox this and I am going to immediately use it today and vacuum up all the construction dust. Thank you very much. Oh, it's my mop. Yay, this is awesome. So I don't have this item already. I do have a mop with a reusable cloth and then you just wash it, and that's what this is too. But it also has a refillable little cartridge that you can fill up with whatever cleaning solution you want, and then it sprays it. And I have like an old-fashioned one that is just, just a reusable cloth, but there's no sprayer. So I go around with a Dollar Tree spray bottle and spray the floor, but this has it built in. So I am very excited. Thank you so much. I'm not sure who bought this for me, but whoever you are, I love you and appreciate you. Silicone ice cube trays, hooray. This is so boring probably to a lot of people, but I'm so excited for these. I love silicone ice cube trays. They are so much nicer to use, and I'm excited to I just recently got into tea, and so I'm gonna try making iced tea in the summer. This will be fun. I do have an ice maker on my fridge, but I don't think it's hooked up because it's well water here. So I have to have my own ice cubes. So I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. This next item is also specifically wanting to be remained anonymous, is this knife set, which I already own. It is so good. I tell everybody I can to buy this knife set. If you need a really good knife set that's also very colorful, it has the whole rainbow, you should get this one. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Command hooks, hooray! Like I said, I need so many command hooks in the living room, also my bedroom and the dining room, basically everywhere. I need a bajillion command hooks for all my artwork. So thank you so much. Oh, these curtain clips. These are awesome. I'm going to use these all over my house. Like I said, in the bedroom, I'm going to definitely use those in there. I love using these things, especially because, like in the movies, you always see people go when they open the curtains and they just fly. And I feel like when it's just fabric on the rods, it doesn't do that very easily. But when you have curtain clips like this, it really does that. And I think that's so fun. So I'm also going to put these, I'm going to switch out all the curtains in the living room. I'm going to have to get new curtain rods. And so this will be fantastic. And these curtain clips, they are from Jamie from Kansas. Thank you so much, Jamie. I really appreciate you. Then the last thing is an Amazon gift card. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I will probably spend this on more command strips. So thank you for that. Otherwise, I need a lot of boring things like a kitchen trash, things like that. So thank you very much. There is one other box that I got at the last minute and I forgot to take with me, and I opened it and it had command strips and a gift card in it. So thank you to whoever sent that to me. Thank you also. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for looking at my housewarming gift list. I can't tell you how grateful I am. It's going to really help me out, but also whenever I use this knife set or the mop or the command strips or the ice cube trays, whatever I buy with the Amazon gift cards, I'm going to think of all of you, and it will make me feel a lot of peace and happiness and a lot of love from you guys. So I really appreciate you. Please let me know in the comments what you think of my house, any advice you have, any ideas. I would love to hear it. You are all so wonderful. Thank you for being my friend. Bye.